Hi, this is Karen with InspiredByGram.com. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to bring you a card that I have created in 4 different coloring themes. I don't even know if it's a theme, but I just colored. So I've created 4 cards using the Country Home stamp set from Stampin' Up. It's a photopolymer stamp set. And all I did was simply keep the same layout, but just color differently. And I've come up with 4 different variations. And I used the Stampin' blends. I added some linen thread here. This is some retired linen thread from the Magnolia Lane combo pack from last year. But today I'm going to use the linen thread for you guys, which is in the annual catalog. So let's go over the stamp set first. Like I said, we're going to be using Country Home, and I like this one because it does. You can make so many different card and variations with this. You've got the picture here and you got the really big milk jug there. And you can just team it up with different sentiments, and you got a little label here that you can stamp hello or enjoy in, but just different variety. And a lot of people use this for fall cards, but it doesn't have to be a fall harvest card. All right, so all the dimensions, let's go over those. I've got my Very Vanilla envelope because we'll be stamping on that today. I have my Very Vanilla card base, and this is cut 8.5 by 5.5. I've already pre-scored it here at 4 1/4. I got the Flowers for Every Season Designer Series paper, and it is 2-sided, and this is cut 4 by 5 1/4. I have a piece of Bumblebee cardstock, and this is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And this is Very Vanilla, which is going to get teamed up here, and that is 3 by 4. I've got a small strip here, which is 3 inches by 3 1/4, and a small strip of the Flowers for Every Season Designer Series paper, and it is cut 1/2 inch by 5 1/2. So those are all your dimensions. We're going to do the stamping first. So let me just get my pieces here that we need to stamp. All right, we've got 3 pieces there. Since this is a photopolymer stamp set, you're going to need your piercing mat. I always like to have a scrap paper on it. All right, we're going to work with this piece again. We're going to stamp the picture in Memento Black because we will be coloring with our blends. So I'm just going to ink this up. I'm going to stamp right down towards the bottom, just like that. And then the second stamp is that floral image, one of them. And since this is a little bit larger stamp, I'm going to bring the ink pad to the stamp. And again, I'm using Memento Black. And now I'm just going to hover over the top of this picture and try to center it the best I can on camera. And did a pretty good job lining it up in between the picture, and so there's not a lot of space there. So that's the first step. The second step is going to be stamping our sentiment. All right, and I just got some ink on there, which we'll fix. No worries there. All right, I've got crushed curry ink. You could use Bumblebee ink as well, but I'm going to use the crushed curry ink. That's what I have. And I am just stamping Happy Harvest Blessings right on that strip. Again, that is 3/4 of an inch by 3. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp our envelope in the same manner we just stamped. So I'm going to just stamp Happy Harvest Blessings all the way across 2 times there. And then I'm going to rotate my envelope, and I'm just going to stamp it right there on the left side. Okay, so it kind of looks, it's a little different, but I always like to stamp or emboss my envelopes. All right, so we are all done with all the ink, so I'm just going to get those out of the way. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to color, and when you're coloring with blends, you want to make sure that you have a piece of scrap paper underneath because it's going to bleed through. And again, that's a little bit of that Memento ink, which I'll try to cover up. So my blend choices are Smoky Slate, Soft Seafoam, This one is Bermuda Bay, Calypso Coral, and Mango Melody. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to color in the picture, and I'm just going to color where I think the shading is supposed to be. And it's generally where it's like all the darker lines. So I'm using the fine tip because I have a better control for myself personally. But you could use the fat tip as well, or the brush tip. So I'm just adding that in there now. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the light color, and I'll show you that brush tip here. It goes a little bit faster with that brush tip, but I think you have less control. But I'm just simply going back and forth, letting that ink soak into the very vanilla panel. All right, we'll call it good. All right, Smoky Slate is done. The next color, I'm just basically gonna color, and you can always fast forward. I'm gonna start with the lighter soft sea foam. Just color in these two little flowers here. Not sure what they're called, but if you know, just add a message in the comment there. Now I'm just going over with the darker soft sea foam, just to make it pop a little bit. And then the next color I'm going to work with is the Bermuda Bay, and I know this is cotton, but you know what? I'm going to make it some other blue flower. So I'm going to sporadically color in just around. Okay, that's good enough. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some of the darker Calypso Coral. I'm using the brush tip, and I'm just going to add this one in. Maybe one right there. Okay. Next we'll bring in the Mango Melody, and we'll color this one here, and this one over here. Actually, I need a greens because I forgot I had the foliage in there, so we'll bring out the old olive in just a minute. So the next thing, I'm going to use some lighter shades. So I've got the lighter Calypso Coral, and I'm going to make this one this little like daisy kind of flower in a lighter shade. Then we've got these little flowers here, and I'm just going to color them in the lighter shade of Bermuda Bay. Okay, whoops, I forgot there's two over here. And then there's kind of some miscellaneous flowers right in here, so we're just going to color those in. Maybe one right there. I think I've got them all. So now I just need to bring in some old olive. I'm going to use the lighter shade. And I'm just going to finish this off coloring in the foliage here. I offered this card in my in-person class I had this week, and it was, I always ask the ladies or the attendees what is their favorite card. We do usually take a group picture, and this was one of them. All right. Okay, so I think I've got it all colored in. Now we just really need to assemble the card. It's really quick and easy once you get the coloring done. I'm going to make sure I have my silicone craft sheet because I like to work on that. All right, so we're going to take this piece here, and you can see that's why you have scrap paper. You don't want it to get onto your surface. So I'm just taking my Stampin' Seal, and I'm adding this panel here to the Bumblebee cardstock. Now we're going to cover this up. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take that sentiment that we just stamped and cover right up over that ink spot there. And no one will really ever know, except for you and me, that I made a little boo-boo there. Whoops, let me just get my adhesive to go. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're just gonna add this right, oops, I just hit the camera. All right, we're just gonna add this right over there. And this panel lines right up. It's equal to the Very Vanilla piece there. Okay, so now let's take our card base, and I've got to burnish this. I'm just gonna fold this over. All right, and then I've got the flowers for every season. This is the opposite side. If you wanted to do this, you could, but it doesn't really match my color theme, so let me just grab another seal. I think I'm out. There we go. Must have been out. I wasn't advancing. Okay, so we're going to add that. This is directional, so we're going to make sure your flowers are going the correct way on the front of your card. And then we're going to add adhesive to the back side of this panel. And we'll just center this right on the card front. Okay, I've got this other panel here, or strip of the flowers for every season paper. Now this is, we're having a special on Designer Series paper, you guys. So if you love Designer Series paper like I do, quite a few packs are 15% off during the month of October 2020. So you can totally save a lot of money, 15%, when you're ordering your paper for my website. All right, so I just took my scissors, and I had this paper was just coming off the edge a little bit, so I just trimmed it off. Now the final step is going to take that linen thread. I've already got the bow already made. It's a double bow here, and I put it on a glue dot. I'm just gonna pinch the knot of that bow, and then I'm gonna add it right here, right where that handle is on my card, and give it a press. And then I'm just gonna take my scissors here. I always keep my tails long until I get them on the bow onto a card, and we'll trim them up to size. All right, so there is the card we just made with the coordinating envelope, really nice pattern. And then here are all the other cards that I've made with the Country Home stamp set. And again, we also, and there's different varieties that you can make with the card. And here's some floral design here, which you can team up with this milk jug, or you can put this on the picture. So it's very versatile stamp set. So you can purchase all these products at my website, which is inspiredbygraham.com. Hit the shop now button. I'd appreciate your support. Thank you.